Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. I'm all set for the winter, for the snow. This is a hat I made. I have a pattern here. This is the pattern I'm going to tell you about. I downloaded this pattern from Lovecraft. You know, we get free patterns from Lovecraft. And as you can see, it's straight down there, but I've had to, this pattern here, when I knit it to the letter. I copied it exactly, did the measurements as it said. If I'd wear it the way she's wearing it, it would have a peak. So I've had to turn it back. And the pattern, if I knit this again, I'm going to do that rib a bit longer so that I can turn over. But the pattern is cast on 78 stitches using the stretchy cast on method, which I do anyway, and working double rib for 7 centimeters. That's knit 2, purl 2. That's what I did. And then after that, it's garter stitch. You knit and garter stitch for until the whole thing measures 15 centimeters. That's what I did. And then I worked on the crown, you know, all the decreasing and till I ended up with 12 stitches, and then you put that through a thread and tighten it up. And this hat doesn't look anything like the one she's wearing. Naturally, it's not the colour. I done it all one colour. Hers is like some of that self-colouring wool, I think you call it. And I'm looking at the instructions, and I never did a tension thing. I thought it's a hat, you don't need to do a tension thing. So I'm looking at it and it says, the gauge your tension. Now this pattern, there was a bag with it as well, but I didn't want the bag, I just wanted the hat. So it says for the tension, 17 stitches and 22 rows to send 10 centimeters, that's 4 inches, square in stocking stitch with 5mm needles. That's for the bag. Then it says 16 stitches, 19 rows, 10 centimeters, 4 inches in double rib with 6mm needles. Now I never noticed that because I never checked the tension. I didn't have any reason to do any tension. It was just, like I said, it's just a hat. The instructions with 5mm needles. Now according to this, the hat's done on 6mm needles. And while I was knitting, I'm looking at her hat, and I counted up the on the brim part here, I counted up the number of rows that was on there. And when I got to that number of rows, it was nowhere near what she had. So I had to keep on knitting to get to the 7 centimeter measurement. And the same with, I couldn't count up the rows of the garter stitch on the rest of it. So anyway, when I finished it, and then like I'm seeing, like I showed you, it came right down there on me. And that was when I noticed the hat should have been knit on 6mm needles. Well, if I'd knitted on 6mm needles, instead of coming down to there, it would have come down to there. So whoever's knit that hat that girl is wearing is not knitted to the same measurements as what's on this pattern. So like I'm saying, I'm going to probably knit it again, and I'm going to do it on the 6 centimeter needles. But I'm going to use my own judgment. I'm going to do this rib part here so it can turn over like this all the way around, because I've just got it up on the front. And I'll probably sell them on my Etsy shop, use up some of my bowls. But that was just one pattern I downloaded, and there was another one. It's not very clear on there, but you can see there's another one there. I did try that one, but it was a very hard pattern to do, and it was like twisted stitches, but you were having to knit into the back of 2 purl stitches, and I just couldn't get the needles to go through the 2 purl stitches. So I gave up on that one, and that was how I come to get this one anyway. And then I looked some more. I've got them somewhere. And then I came across this one. It says, fits the whole family. So I'm going to do some of those ones as well. I don't know how they get it to fit the whole family, because the number of stitches you have to go around the head is going to be much too large for, even though the rib is going to be large for a child. So maybe you do different size needles. It doesn't say to do different size needles, it just has the one size of needle, 6mm. Oh no, it does. It says 5.5mm for the brim, or it's 6 for the body of the hat, but that's still only one for one size. Anyway, and then I saw this one. These are all free patterns on Lovecraft. Just have a look for whatever you want. So this is will be like chunky, I think. So I would probably, I just use for Aaron, I just use 2 strands of double knitting. I think for chunky I might have to use 3 strands. But I have got lots of yarn that's, you know, I've got three balls of stuff I can use it. So I'm going to, I might try that one for, do them for my Etsy shop as well, when I get time, that is, like, that the hat and scarf. Only thing, I printed this off and the pattern goes over 2 pages. Now on my printer, you have an option to flip the page while you're printing. You know, it'll print one side and then automatically take it through. But I had to choose the long side or the short side. I didn't know which side to flip it on. And I flipped it on the wrong side, so when I go from there, I've got to turn it upside down to read the instructions on the back. And where it says, the hat's only got 55 stitches on, so it's not going to take very long to do that one. So that's something to do on my, use up some of my odd balls of wool. And I was supposed to be going out tonight to my friend, our bingo group. We were going to the same place tonight. They have a band and a couple of games of bingo and all that, but the weather's changed for the worse, so we've all been on our chatting on our group thing, and everybody's decided it's best just to cancel it. I had intentions of cancelling anyway, because there's no way am I driving up the A1 in this weather. Even if the snow doesn't lie, there's going to be ice when I come back, so that was it. And when I got up this morning, 2 of my wheelie bins were up the top of the drive trying to get out of the drive gates. There was concrete on my lawn that had dropped from the corners of the roof. You know, we have where you come down the points on the corners, there's concrete, and I've got chunks of concrete on my lawn that's come from there. So the wind's been playing havoc everywhere. So I have been sitting knitting, doing a little bit knitting. This is Clawdettes. I have finished the back. There's a big size, it's to measure 50 inches this, but I finished the back for her. And I wasn't sure whether there was going to be enough, would be enough wool, because she sent me 2 300-gram balls of Aran for to do this cardigan. And I wasn't sure. Well, I've only used half of one of the balls to do the back, so the other half's going to do the front. So I know Claudette is going to be enough to do the cardigan, because I'll have a full ball to do the sleeves and then the neck and the button bands and that for the front. But I wasn't absolutely certain until I'd actually knitted the back whether there was going to be enough. But it didn't take as much. Well, she did want it shorter than it was only the backs to measure 22 inches, where the last thing I knit her, I think it had to measure 29 inches, so it's a lot shorter. That's probably why hasn't taken so much. I usually knit for myself at the weekend or my shop, but I'm going to try and finish Clawdettes. Seeing as it's just plain knitting, there's not much to it. There's no pattern or anything like that. It's just a deep rib. You know, a deep rib, a different kind of rib. That's all. But my own things I have been doing. I started off with. I have been chopping and changing. I started off with this one a little while ago, the little brown cable one. I got sick of that one. So I started on another one. I've done a one like this before. This went to Daggery, but I had enough of this wool to do another same size 22-inch one. So I've started another one. This is for my shop. So I've done the back on that one, and then I got sick of that one. And I started on this one. It's another little 22-inch, you know, that open mustache. It's another 22-inch. I've got the back and the side done on that one of the sides. But I'm doing a tutorial for my other channel, Sheila's Just Knitting, with this one. And I have done a little video, what I've done up to now, a bit of the back and a bit for this side, and then I'll do a bit more. When I do some more of it, I'll finish off the tutorial, and then I'll put it up on my channel. But I got sick of that as well. I put them to one side just for now, and I thought, oh, I'll get this one finished for Claudette, and then I can send it to her, and that'll be one of my hands. And then after that, get back onto Daggery's poncho. And I also have a blanket I'm doing for Daggery, which getting quite away with the blanket, which I do in between, you know, whenever I can. So that's how much I'm getting of that. I think I'm about to change to another colour. Oh no, I have to do a little bit more white. I think I ran out of the white. I have to finish that white bit off because I do two colours. I do 2 rounds of white in between 2 different colours. So I've started as light purple and dark blue, and then I've got white, then light blue and yellow and white, green, and I'm not sure whether that's a green or a blue. It's kind of blue, a white. Anyway, I've done 2 different colours in between 2 rounds of white. Whatever colours I have handy. So I have to get a bit more of that done. And I think where Daggery lives in Maryland in the United States, so she probably needs things like this there anyway. But her other parcel, I sent the Celtic cable cardigan, well, the Celtic cable jacket and a little cardigan to her, and it should be getting to her pretty soon. I keep checking the tracking on the Royal Mail thing, and it said it was in New York, I think it was. It said got to New York. Well, it has a few places to go before it gets to where Daggery lives. With the United States being such a big country, it doesn't take that long for, once it's in this country, in the UK, usually the next day when we get them, but United States is a lot bigger country, so they have to go out through a lot of different places before they get to whatever areas they're going to. So that's my little bit for today. So I am going to sit down and do a bit more. More of Claudette's cardigan. And I know it'll not take me very much longer to do this because of the just plain knitting. That's all it is. Now I'm having a drink of my tea anyway. But you know, I've had to put my ring light on again on my computer. It just keeps going black outside, and it's only 2 o'clock. So I think we are going to get some snow. Our forecast for snow. And it's been raining heavy, so I hope the rain goes a bit lighter by the time we might get some snow, because it's going to be thick if it does. And that's what I told my friends. I was the first one that decided I wasn't going to that place tonight because there's no way am I driving in snow. I've had an accident in snow once and there's no way will I ever drive in it again. So that's my bit for now. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll keep in contact and let you know what's what and what's going on, what else I get done. So bye for now.